Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. So, decided to do a video on the cruise ship here. I'm in Greece. You can see kind of Athens in the background here. Pretty big city actually, pretty interesting. There's about 5 million people in Athens. There's about 10 or 11 million in Greece, so almost half the population lives here. So I went up to the Acropolis today, which was pretty cool, and saw the Parthenon, or what was left of it. It was actually totally destroyed and then rebuilt, so that's kind of interesting. But anyway, I wanted to do a review on a book. I'm doing kind of book reviews today as I'm catching up with videos. It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Anyway, but I decided to read his latest book, which I didn't even realize had come out, but it's called Becoming Supernatural. So that's the book here. I listened to the audio version of this, and I'm disappointed, I have to say. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of skeptical of a lot of what he says in the book. He had me, the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself had a lot of good information. It was a little bit out there, but I was willing to, stretch and find my way with it. But I feel like this book is just one big advertisement for his seminars. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before for sure. I've been further on the other side of the spectrum of being way more analytical and way more skeptical, right, than I am now. I'm definitely more on the new age type of, I don't know, like the more synchronicity side of the spectrum. This book just went into a lot of the stories. Like, he would use a lot of stories from people that had been, quote, healed or healed themselves, and those stories seem like the stories that were designed specifically to relate to someone who that would be going through something else, and that would be pushing them towards a hopeful belief, like that kind of very super hopeful, like this is the only thing that will work for me type of belief, which is kind of a dangerous place. It's kind of a manipulative place. It's kind of funny because in the book he talks about an advertisement he was watching for shingles and how it was very manipulative, using emotional state to basically instill fear and get people to react. Again, there was good advice in the book for sure. I just feel like it's a little bit too far out there. He does talk about the idea that a lot of that he's basically being labeled as a quack because of this stuff. But I don't know. It could be just because I'm not wise enough or spiritually mature enough to be able to see this, and maybe my viewpoint will change in the future. Maybe I'm just not ready for this, right? So I'm willing to entertain that thought, even though as I'm saying that I don't believe myself. You see what I'm saying? It's like I'm willing to realize that I could be wrong, and I think that's key. Like, you have to realize that you could possibly be wrong, even for things that it seems like you know what the answer is here. So that's where I'm sitting, kind of on this book. As far as reading it, my recommendation. If you've read all of his other stuff, then probably read this just so you know what you're getting into with some of the other stuff as well. If you haven't read his other books, just read You Are the Placebo and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. In fact, just read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself will probably be the best, and it's got a lot of really good advice that that I can attest to works and is solid. I don't know what I would call legit, but again, I could be wrong about it. So let me know if you have a different experience, if you see things differently. I would like to go to one of his seminars just to check it out. And I do believe that a lot of the stuff, the meditations that he talks about, could be beneficial for sure. I have to try it out myself in order to really make that kind of a judgment. But yeah, there you go. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button below, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.